All right, Rob Kandell here. We're going to be talking about our spreadsheet. I'm finally ready to release it to you. And if you run into a bug somewhere, just let me know. You learn about these things as you go. So the first thing you want to do is sign in to your Google Gmail so you have logged in. So hopefully you know what that means. You don't need a business account. I have a business account. And you'll probably see something like view only in the spot right here. So the first thing you want to do is make a copy. So I'm going to make a copy so I don't mess up the template. And so I'm going to call this Rob's Forecast. And you can direct where that is in your Google Drive so you can make a copy. So this is now yours to keep. This is 100% yours. And you can do whatever you want with it. You can make multiple copies. You can, always go back to the template. If you mess up and you want to start over again, you can just go add, it's like an Excel sheet or a Word document. You can just keep making it. So I want to introduce the different sections. The first is there's 3 sheets. There's dashboard, number, and comparison. Dashboard is where you're going to put in all your numbers. Numbers are pulling from the dashboard to create your forecast. On some level, this is a duplicate of the prior, but it does all the math for you. And comparison, something I didn't talk about or someone mentioned, was when you build a product, you have the planned, which is your forecast. You can then put into this column and these columns your actual to find out your difference. So it's a comparison between how you thought you would do and how you actually did. So that's a little down the line. So I'm just going to go over the different sections of the spreadsheet. There's a whole bunch of information here, and it's really here for you to, use. Now, I do have an offer. If you want me to do this for you or with you, I do have a special offer for the group for $300. I'm willing to go through this with you and build it with you. You can just PM me. That's one offer. So just let me know about that. Okay, so let me start filling this out. And I have a time limit of 15 minutes, but I think that's fine anyway because you'll get bored of this anyway. Okay, so the first thing is your minimum monthly salary. This is what you want to pay yourself. So I'm going to make up some numbers for myself, but $500 is how much I want to make. As we start adding information in this column, the total for the year will come in, and this is just the year divided by 12, so you can come up with the monthly average. Then you have your monthly average of how much you want to get paid, and then the net income minus this will give you the deficit, which is currently $2,500 because we have no income. We'll go over distribution towards the end. That'll be the last thing we do, and let's just start. Okay, so the first thing is come up with your different products. So for me, I'll just do coaching one-on-one. I'm going to do a communication course. I'm going to do a group program, my circles, coaching circles. And I'm going to do a VIP client, which is something a little nerve-wracking for me, but something I've been thinking about doing. And what else? I'm going to put in book sales, and I'm going to be putting in the what should I do my final one? I think I will do the 10-week program I'm planning to do. Okay, so these are your 6 products. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm in my 5th year of business, so I have so many. I would actually recommend keep these as small as possible. But as you go, we're going to use a different one so you can show different things. So coaching is pretty relatively. I'm thinking about in terms of cost per gig. So I'm a $250 an hour coach. So I'm putting that number in across the board. Then I'm shooting for how much coaching per month I want to get to. I'm actually going to call this coaching and consulting. So I have to think about my main clients. I have to think about my coaching clients. I'm actually just going to make up a number, and I'm going to say I want to work 10 hours of paid coaching per month. You can see immediately there was a change of 2,500, the average per month, 2,500 divided by 12. And so I can just copy this across So 10 hours of paid coaching, $2,500, nets me $30,000 a year. Communication course, that's a $200 an item gig. I'm going to teach one in Los Angeles here. You can actually right click and then do insert notes if you want to keep track. It's a nice little tip. I want to sell, let's see, I want to do a New York one for another, let's call it in June. And I want to sell New York in May and June. So let's say I want to sell 25 here. I want to sell 20 in here and 20 in here. So you can see the numbers increasing as I go. Then there's coaching circles, which is a $500 gig. I'm going to start that in April. Put that across. And then I want, let's say in April, I want 4 people. I'm guessing 4 people, 6 people, 6 people, 6 people, 8 people, 8 people, 8 people, 8 people, 8 people. So when you look at my year, per month, I want to collect this amount per person for the coaching circle. Okay, so I'll just skip over. Well, let's do the VIP client just because I'm nervous about talking about it. I want a $40,000 client here. And let's just call, he's paying or she's paying once in September. So even though I'm working with him for, a year or 6 months or 9 months or however long I do it, he's just paying once $40,000 to start. And you can see my number just continues to go up, and then you can see the peak. That's because of the VIP client. And finally, let's do the book sales. Let's say that's $15 across. And then I want to sell 50. I'll just sell this across the board because I'm running out of time. Okay, the 10-week program we'll just leave. So you can see at this point, I'm shooting to make $123,000. I haven't put any expenses in. And so that's pure profit. And so when my monthly salary is here, I'm actually making 10 grand a month, but I haven't put my expenses in. So let's just start to put expenses in. So the cost for the coaching per product, and I actually split this up by month. I had it once in one, but because it might change over time. There really is no cost that it costs me to be my coaching client. It's just me in front of the screen. So then if you think about the communication course, I'm thinking it's going to cost me for every $200 ticket, it's going to cost me $20 for every $2 ticket. So I'm going to put $20, and I can put that across the board because this is only going to read in terms of expenses when there's this number. So if I go to the numbers, you can see the communication course, even though I put $20 for the amount, it only shows up when there's numbers, there's actually enrollments in the communication course. 25 times 20 is the $500 you see here. Okay. Book, let's say it's $15 with my Amazon cut. I'm really only making $5 a book, so let's put $10 here. And then you can start to see my expenses are going up, $500. Not huge. I'm still making quite a bit of money compared to the monthly. All right, but then you get down to your other standard expenses. So for once, I have rent for my office. So my rent for my office is $19.25. I'm in Los Angeles in a beautiful 3-room office in Los Angeles. My phone is $250. I signed up for a program called UAX. That's $2,000 a month. Actually, it started in February. And then what else? Insurance, I have professional insurance. That's $178 a month, etc., etc. Utilities, good old business internet, $279 from Spectrum. And you can start to see that my income, my expenses, I'm now at running the numbers up. So you want to make this as clear as possible, and you want to just be forecast and just put everything you know in there. Like I have software expenses. Let's say that's $200 a month. if you okay, and then one way to do this is I like to do accounting. You can pick your format. You can go down to 2 decimal places. Okay. So you can see I'm actually making quite a bit of money. I'm above my salary. My surplus is $3,000 a month. Okay, that's really has to do a lot to do with that big $40,000 gig. Without that, my numbers decrease significantly. So all of a sudden that surplus, really dies. I'm actually below my expenses without that client. So I better either, increase my consulting gigs or, actually get that client. Okay, so finally, there's the process of cash flow. Cash flow is the most important piece. And so you can see in the beginning of the year, my net income, this total minus these totals is actually negative. I'm negative in January and February. And so there's quite a bit of money going out each month. And so it's really important to keep this number solid. So let's say I started, this last number here is how much did I start in the bank when I started the month? So I'm going to put 2,500 there. And that changes quite a bit in terms of the total cash flow. Okay, I'm still negative. The last piece I want to show you is if you're in a positive cash flow, like here, and you want to take some money and put it into a different account, you can put in a number here. And what that'll do is it'll take it from your cash flow and actually put it into different buckets. Hold for taxes, savings, retirement, enjoyment, and other that you want to save. So you want to think about taxes, and these numbers here are based on your numbers here, how much you want to save for each one. So this number will there's nothing automatic about this. This is a manual process. Let's say you actually want to make that 12,000. This is all based on what your number is here. So this number here is really how much you want to take out of the cash. You can see my cash flow is negative still. You want to just make sure that you have money. And I have 27,000 in the bank here. I want to take another 10,000 out. All of a sudden, that will pull from there. And then I have total for taxes is how much I've saved is up here, how much I've saved up for each bucket. So let's say you want to save more for taxes, and all of a sudden that changes the total for each one. So that is the initial pass of the tutorial for the forecast. You can see here these numbers are the same. To do the comparison, you can actually say, all right, how much did I actually make in coaching? I actually made $5,000 in January, and I actually made $250 in cash sales. You can start to see like how much each one costs. And actually, instead of $500 it cost me for my book sales, it's actually only $125. So these numbers will compute and actually go to your total for, I predicted 123K. My actual, because remember, this is the whole year, is based on actually these numbers. So these aren't any numbers. These are just numbers you take from your P&L or take from anything you track. This is really 178. The phone was actually 242. The rent was really 925. The software was actually 350. The utilities was really 279. And you can start to see these numbers actually start to match up in terms of net profit and also in terms of what your income and expenses are. So I built that as a way just to look between the two. And at the end of each month, you might want to plug in these numbers to make it pretty. Okay, so my 15 minutes is up. I want to do this as a first initial run. If you want to make comments about things you don't understand, if you want me to do another video, you can always ask questions in the group. And that is my tutorial on the forecast. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.